Hey everybody, today's a little bit different. This is something that's just come to be and is very weird how it all came together. So one day I went to lunch, and as I'm eating lunch, I noticed this truck pull up in this parking lot where I'm eating at, and it says Platinum Music Complex on the side. A lot of people know, and if you don't know, I play music for a living outside of Pair Theory.
On Pegasus I was blind, free, careless, lost over purple sea. When I came along this lonesome fortune teller, she gazed into a crystal ball, and I saw that giant gavel fall and asked if I could be her pallbearer. But then I saw that gypsy prophesize of the tearing flesh and the mother's cry and the crimson glow of blood that would run forever. Never stood before the kings and queens of the hooded man with the guillotine and prepared to meet the eternal tax collector.
And so I see this, and at that time, our band was looking for a place for our new record to do a show at, but we wanted to do like a ticketed event, a private deal for a lot of our top fans, our sponsors, have everybody come out, treat them to a big dinner, etc. So Platinum is right down the street from where I live at. And so I thought, man, maybe this is the owner, right? And so I'm looking around, and I asked the bartender, I'm like, hey, do you know whose truck this is out here? And she goes, oh yeah, it's this gentleman over here. And so I go up and introduce myself to him. We get to talking, and he invites me, he says, well, why don't you come down and check out the studios and let's take a look at our room. And I said, okay, great. So we go down to Platinum Music Complex, which is right down the street, North Richland Hills, Texas. And we go in, we're looking at it, and I run into a couple people I know. And there's a guy that works there named Presley, and he says, Justin, man, I'm a huge fan of Pair Theory. Are you here for the jail? And I said, no, I'm here for looking at your room here to use for a show, for our band. He goes, oh. He goes, well, when you get time, come back. I'd love to show you the jail. And I said, okay, let's take a look at this. And so we go do our thing. We come back, and he shows me the jail. I did not know that this whole complex, which is huge, it's now what it is it's all like rehearsal studios. Tons of bands use them for rehearsal spaces. It's got a recording studio inside of it. It's got a huge auditorium for seating with stage, sound, the whole bit. They do podcasts there. It's all everything entertainment, movie studios, etc. Whatever you need, it's there. And so it's built in the building that was the original North Richland Hills Police Department. It still has the courtroom in it, and it still has the original jail. Now, there are two jails to this place, and one is the original old jail that they now use as storage, which we did not get to go in. We couldn't even film in it because it's just filled with boxes, etc. And I wasn't going to have them pull all that out of there. And then they have their newer jail, which sits right pretty much in the center of the building. And the stories that we were getting from Dwayne, the owner, and Presley, and a few people that worked there were pretty outrageous.
Imprints of the jail's past remain untouched, from the intake area and visitation rooms to jail cells and the interrogation room.
I hear doors shutting, I hear footsteps down the hallways, knowing nobody's in this building. What was going through my mind was, somebody get me out of here.
And I was like, well, why don't you have us spend the night in this place? And what was really hard to do was to get a time when bands were not going to be rehearsing there, because it's 24/7. There's bands there, hundreds of bands rehearsing constantly. And so for what we do, to be able to get EVPs, etc., audio, we're trying to find a night. And it took us a couple months to get a night that we could try to shoot for. So we found a night that it was like last minute. I was like, man, it's pouring rain outside. It's a Monday. This is their deadest night. Let's go up there. Well, we lucked out, and we were able to get a night where there was nobody up there. And so we go in and we start the investigation. Now, what people need to know is that my grandfather was the first police chief of Richland Hills. So you have Richland Hills and you have North Richland Hills, okay? And I don't think that North Richland Hills the police department came to be until the 60s, if I'm correct on that, and I could be wrong. But my grandfather was the first police chief of Richland Hills, and the city right next door is Haltom City, and my great-grandfather, his father, was the first fire chief of Haltom City. So I thought, how cool is this to be able to do a paranormal investigation in a place that maybe back in the day that he had done business with some of these people. So we went for it. And, you know, we do a lot of places and we don't get answers at all places that we go to. So, you know, we're treating this just like any investigation. We don't really want to know a lot of the history going in. We heard some of the claims, and that was enough for us to go, okay, but this place does have history, so let's go with that. And we go in and we do the investigation. And what we caught in this place is why this is the season finale. So without any further ado, let's get into this.
Is there anybody here that wants to make communication tonight? Were you a prisoner here? Or you may be a guard?
Did you work here at the jail? Do you like to hear all the music in this place?
Can you make a loud knock for us or a loud bang to let us know where you're at?
It's crazy that room plug was going off like crazy earlier.
I know.
Nothing.
I know.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. Can you turn that off for me? Now that you know how to turn it on, all you have to do is just let it go. Just twist it right back the other way and it'll turn off. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. Oh, or that. So my name is Justin and this is Craig, and we are with a paranormal group called Paratheory. What we like to do is we like to talk to those that have passed on and try and pass on a message that maybe you didn't get to say before you passed away. Maybe something bad happened to you here and you never got to say it because you were locked up, and there might be a story there. So what we have to do is establish contact with you first.
Dude, what if we put the music box facing inside
Of it?
there?
Oh my God, it's a great idea. Let me go get it. Yo.
And the flashlight just turned on.
Stay on that.
Thank you. Can you turn it off if I count down from 5 to 1? 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you. You just have to let it go. You can just grab it and that'll be yes. And when you let go and it goes off, that can be no. Does that sound good for you? Would you like to do that?
We had our flashlight going, and we did a thing where we set up a KT meter, a motion sensor, and our flashlight, and we were only really getting responses with the flashlight.
Okay, I'm gonna let it reset. I'm gonna set it here. I'm gonna let it set itself.
Is that setting?
There we go. I just set.
Okay.
What I have here is a K2 meter that I'm also going to set right here. 3 objects. Thank you. Can you turn that flashlight off for me real quick and come up close to the, are you on the other side of the door? Can you turn that flashlight off for me, please? Go ahead. Thank you. Can you walk up to that music box? It just plays music. All it is, you just walk up to it. It's got a sensor and it can pick you up and it'll start playing music. Yes, okay. Go ahead and put your hand right in front of that music box. It's on the other side of the door. So I'm not sure if you're on the inside or the outside. Are you on the inside? Turn off the flashlight. Okay, so you are on the inside. So maybe it's not picking you up directly. Can you try and touch that box that's right there in the middle? Right there. That little box. Thank you. Because the flashlight must be easier for you to use. Can you go ahead and turn it off for me? Let go of it. It's really bright. If I take away the flashlight, are you going to be upset? I want to see if you can activate the other tools that we have. Are you in, so you said you're inside that room.
Should we come inside there?
That's a bathroom right there. There's a bed. That thing's facing, oh, it's like I was facing it. Did it move? It feels like it's shining right on me now from where I was. So here's the circle. If I pull away the flashlight, I'm going to do so. I want you to walk up and just put your hand right in front of that music box and it'll make a noise like that. It's not going to hurt you. That way, we know that you're, because you can do it so quick. And it'll let us know that you're in there talking to us. If there's anybody else in here that would like to speak with us, can you make a noise or a bang on one of these windows? How long have you guys been in here? Wow.
A Couldn't have been me, could it?
No, you're too far away. I mean, you've been standing there the whole time.
I know, but I just turned back that way.
Is that you walking up to the window there? You looking for one of the guards? Have a seat on the bench. They'll be back here momentarily. So what's crazy is we have the music box set up with a K2 meter up here. And we have the music box facing inside of solitary confinement. So if something does move in there, that music box is gonna pick it up. And it might take a while for it to manifest, but it can. Now, on this one, I think we can open this door. I'm not 100%. I think press, yeah, we can. And it doesn't lock. Obviously, it doesn't lock. See? Knowing my stupid ass, so I'd get locked in here in a heartbeat.
Do you have the keys? Some Vienna sausage?
Boy, you want some Vienna sausage? I'll trade you Vienna sausage for some crack.
What's that expiration date on there?
There's a diaper in here.
Gross.
A used diaper.
Is that where you put yours earlier? Is that where you put yours earlier? Is that where you put yours earlier?
We're gonna move on. We're gonna try and, you think I should leave that there for a minute?
Yeah, walk away, see if it turns on.
Yeah.
Take the K2 meter.
I'm gonna take the K2 meter and just kind of do a sweep with it. And I'll leave that on the music box for now. We'll go over in here. Is there anybody in here that would like to talk with us tonight? My name is Justin. This is Craig. My grandfather was the first police chief of Richland Hills. Did you know Mr. Stowe, the do-right man?
Is that what they called him?
They called him the do-right man. He sure did. Because he'd always pull guys over. He was like a good old boy system. He was like, just do right, son. I don't want to take you to jail. Just do right. Does it get lonely in here?
Are you mad because they moved to jail and you got left behind? And now you have no interaction with anything or anyone?
I got an idea.
Remain perfectly still.
I'm gonna take this motion light down here and I'm gonna put it in solitary confinement in this other room. Like that. And I'm gonna take this music box in here because these jail cells are pretty big.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it right here. It's gonna set itself. And then what I want to do is I want to take this dude. This is one of the ones that wasn't light, or is lighting up. It's been lighting up this whole time. What'd you say?
I said, excuse me.
Oh. And I don't think this one opens up. Yeah, it does. We'll do the same thing here.
Does it say going in there, Justin? They ain't very chatty in here to be prisoners.
Yeah,
missing
yeah,
people.
right? You guys are a bunch of bullshit. Supposedly I hear that there's screams coming from here and all kinds of noise and lights turning on and all kinds of bullshit. Ain't nothing happening. Nothing.
We had the REM pod for a minute at first, but now nothing.
Just give us one sign. The only thing that have happened is that fucking flashlight lit up over there at solitary confinement.
Decided to move from the men's ward into the main hall, and we're doing a spirit box session. And instead of like from our last videos where we do the Estes session, a lot of people were saying, you know, I wish we could hear the spirit box. So instead of doing an Estes, we did it just open spirit box so you guys can hear what we're hearing. And a lot of this was dead on the money.
My name is Justin, and this is Craig.
I know a lot of times we do Estes sessions, but we decided let's do a spirit box because you could hear it so good in there because everything you said just echoed on echo inside there to where at the end of the night it was very draining how loud that place was, even though it was so quiet when we were doing stuff.
Can you tell us your name?
Didn't you say you thought you heard that earlier?
I swear I heard that earlier. I was like, I heard something go, mm-hmm. Were you an inmate here or were you one of the guards?
One of the guards.
One of the guards. Did you know Lynn Ross Stowe? Yes, I did. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was my grandfather. My name is Justin Ross, and I got my Justin Ross. My middle name is after my grandfather. Did you work with Ross? I did. Am I talking to two people?
Check this.
How long did you work here? The woman who came through, were you a guard here or were you an inmate?
What?
Say that again. I was a guard?
Are you cold?
Yes, it's getting colder. For sure.
Like my hands just got really cold. Did you know him as the chief of police?
Did you used to call him Chief? They had a nickname for him because he would always tell people to do something. Do you remember what that was? See, it's so weird, that thing, like, it's quiet, and then it's like when something's trying to build up and talk, it's like, it goes, see?
Yeah.
Can you see us right now? Can you tell me what my name is?
Chief. I fucking heard that.
Holy shit, that was loud. You called him Chief. Well, that's pretty awesome. That was pretty incredible right there, man.
What's crazy is I can see you and I can see behind you right now.
So why are you still here? It's the same voice every time, too.
Yeah. Stuck?
You're stuck here? Are you stuck in this place? Yes or no?
Hell yes.
Is that what it said? Hell yes.
That's what it sounded like.
Are you confined to only the jail, or can you walk around the whole building?
I got the building.
Was that a police car sound?
It was.
Can you tell us your name? Candace? Spring?
That sounded like a siren that. Yeah, like their horns.
Were you a guard or were you a police officer? Police officer. Did you hear that? Officer.
Yeah.
How long were you a police officer? Can you tell me how many years you were an officer?
During the spirit box session, to my right is this face that stays there the entire time, and over time starts to separate itself. I did not even notice this at all until I was showing my wife the video, and I'm showing her the evidence we were catching during the spirit box session, and she points out this face. She goes, "Look at this face right here." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I didn't even notice that." There again, things keep coming up that we're not paying attention to. And then I noticed this snake-like movement of a shadow on the wall where the face is at. What's crazy is you can see the shadow of my arm on the wall, and when I move, you can see my shadow moving on the wall from the IR light from my camera that's looking at me. But where this face is at, you can see the shadow going behind it. This thing stays right here and doesn't move, and stays that way throughout the entire spirit box session. Craig is standing to my left, and his light is facing more this way. And so, as you can tell, when he comes into frame, you'll see where he is standing at, and his light is shining on the other wall, as where my light's shining on me, not on him. And you can see there's another IR light down the hallway from our static cam. So I thought maybe it was Craig moving. So I'm going back looking at footage. Craig doesn't move. He's just standing there holding the camera. If anything, he'll move his left arm down, and he's, trying to relax his hand from holding the camera, etc.
Did you die in the line of duty?
Are we in danger being here? Stay. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Stay again. So you want us to stay?
You like having company here to talk to you?
Can you tell me what the chief's name was?
Did it say Ross?
I heard it say Ross. I sure as fuck heard. I was waiting
Ross
for you.
Lynn?
Did you say Ross Lynn?
Is that his name?
His name is Lynn Ross Stowe.
Oh.
Did you say Ross? Ross Stowe, are you here? Are we speaking to Ross Stowe?
That sounded a bit dramatic.
Where's that sound again?
Yeah.
Granddaddy, is this you? See what I'm saying? It's like it's building energy to say something.
Yeah.
You wrote it down? What did you write down?
At the house?
At the house? Did you know Ross's wife? Did you know the Stowe family? A couple points? A couple times? A couple times. So you met this family a couple times. Do you remember Ross's wife's name? Ross Stowe, Lynn. Well, okay, well, what is it? Is that a child? Child. 2. Is there two children here?
Coming with us?
Come with us? Where do you want us to come to? Where do you want us to go? Are you hiding in the shadows?
One of us.
Who's hiding in the shadows? Is it a bad person? Yes.
Kids?
I mean, I've been moving around. Are you in the hallway?
Cat balls?
I think it said cat balls.
Is it freak?
Can you touch one of the cat balls here on the benches? Or come up to this little red light? It'll turn all sorts of different colors. We also have a music player right here in the jail.
I'm gonna walk and come this way.
If you go right in here towards M1, M2, M1, you will be able to activate the music player. Do you like music? The pretty lights. Well, all you have to do is touch any one of these little balls all the way down and they'll light up. Just so you guys know, this is a motion sensor to my left. That is, it's on a light. So when I move or get too close to it, it turns on and off.
Yes, it does.
That's crazy. It just agreed with me. Yes, it does. Do you want me to stop it? I think that was like a...
Cat balls?
Yeah.
Like a drum?
Like a drum? I want to go back and talk to the officer that worked with my grandfather, Ross Stowe. Are you still with us? No.
Got on the bus?
He got on the bus. Where did he go? What city did you live in? North Richland Hills. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was clear as fuck. Okay. So is this one of the officers I was speaking with that just said he lived in North Richland Hills?
During the spirit box session, we're kind of deep into it now. Craig switches positions, and there's a part where someone calls out my name, and it does not come from the spirit box. You can clearly hear someone say Justin.
I'm gonna show them what you're seeing.
Huh?
I'm gonna show them what you are seeing right now.
I think you keep saying Single Ross. Like it's a Single Ross. Were you from Mexico? Were you from Mexico? Bad thing is we can't turn this damn light out. He was found like right here.
We decided to move into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, there was a gentleman that was a guard there that was found dead back there, and he had a heart attack. And one of the other guards had found him later on. So there is a death that happened in the kitchen with a guard.
Let me see if I can. I'm going to put this up. Did you just turn this light up? Did you just turn this light up?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Hey, when we go back in here, when you go in the kitchen, turn, and then go behind the door, that little space right there. Let me know what you feel.
Okay. I feel like this was a freezer. Oh my God, dude, it's so cold right here.
Anything else?
I don't know, I feel like
It made me get real disoriented for a second.
I just feel.
And when I scared myself earlier, right here, listen.
Oh, it rubs that light up there.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, and it scared the fuck out of me.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut this door. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think that was a band practice.
No. There's nothing on the other side of this wall.
What's that band?
Okay, what I have here is I have a flashlight, and I'm going to set it up right here. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make contact with us, and you can walk up, you can turn this flashlight on, and we can use it to talk to you. I'm gonna stand over in your corner. They said they found you back here, and that you had been, I wasn't sure if you had a heart attack or if they just found you dead back here. Is the gentleman that died in this room, are you with us right now? Can you turn this flashlight on? If you're hearing music right now, there's a band on the other side of this wall about 2 rooms down. It's extremely loud. And we're trying to do a paranormal investigation. I don't know how many EVPs we're gonna get because they're playing really shitty Metallica over there. Can you walk right up to this flashlight? All you have to do is just barely touch it, and it'll turn on, and it'll let us know that you're here, just so we can talk to you.
What song is that?
I know his rhythm sucks, though. It's not exactly staying on tempo there. What is that? Oh, it's the door stopper. I would imagine that right here was like, because there's a drain pipe right here, it's plugging. I imagine this was like some sort of big, like, walk-in freezer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this was an oven. That's a pizza oven you're next to. Bathrooms around the corner, dishes. Or maybe that was, I would only imagine that would be like some sort of big walk-in, not a walk-in, but like just a big stainless steel refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know, keep all the.
I'm sure those aren't
crappy
cheap. They
jail
probably took
food.
that with them. Yeah.
What was it?
Bologna sandwiches.
Bologna sandwiches, Hot Pockets if you were lucky.
Evidently Vienna sausage.
Vienna sausage, sure.
Beanie weenies.
Ugh. Jill straight up ruined bologna for me. That and Hot Pockets. I even smell one. I'm just like, pfft. There it was. Just takes me right back. We've come here to talk to you tonight and to tell your story. And we've been here for quite a while. We're not getting a whole lot of answers. So, if you want us to leave you alone, if you're tired of us being here, just let us know. We'll leave. Turn on the flashlight. It doesn't take much. Do you really get annoyed by the bands practicing around you all the time? Were you one of the officers that they found back here, or were you just a cook?
What?
Your turn, Craig. Fire in. I'll film you. I'm tired of fucking getting no answers.
Seems like that's all we're gonna get.
I'll film you. You answer. You ask questions. Because I keep asking questions and nobody's listening to my fat ass. So, I'll go over your holy of holies. I'll go over here.
Is there anyone in here that would like to speak with us tonight? You can just walk up to this flashlight right here and just barely use the connection. You can pull the energy off the cameras or anything around us that we have on us. You can use the power. Just walk right up to it and just grab it and make the connection and turn the light on.
Okay. If there's anyone here, what I want you to do is walk up to this flashlight right here we set on the ice maker. Just barely turn it. Let us know that you're here. And that's it. Turn it on one time, and then we're going to bail. We're going to get out of this room. We're going to go somewhere else. You obviously don't want to talk to us. We just want to know that you are in here. God damn, it just got fucking freezing cold.
Yeah.
Is that you making it cold in here? I smell firewood. Smell it? Man, for what I can smell, my sinuses are driving me nuts.
I already gave you a COVID test earlier.
Huh?
I said I already gave you a COVID test earlier.
You started to give me a COVID test?
No, I gave you one earlier.
And then?
You said it stunk.
Listen.
Listen, Linda.
Your COVID tests are bullshit, alright?
I don't know. Maybe they just don't want us in here. If you don't want us in here and you want us to go out there and try to make contact with someone else that's here, just come over here and just barely make the connection between the light and the battery. It's barely turned. All you gotta do is just a little bit of it and it'll turn on for us. And we'll grab it up in the cameras and we'll go. Can you make a knock?
Let's move to the to the guard shack. You wanna grab, or you wanna take this one?
Fuck me.
What?
Like when I did the knock,
Yeah?
then all of a sudden, my whole arm just got fucking, feel my arm. It's cold as a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Warm up here, but like ice cold.
Yeah,
right
as
there.
soon as I was knocking here, it was like all of a sudden cold just went right there up my fucking body.
And all of a sudden his arm got really cold. And what was really weird about his arm getting cold is it wasn't his forearm, it was the back of his arm. And when you think about guards, police, etc., when they're escorting someone, they don't grab them by the hand or the wrist, they grab them by the back of the arm and lead them through, right?
And then you can feel it is ice cold right there.
Yeah, dude, that's freezing. This is warm.
Yeah.
This is cold.
And I haven't been leaning on anything.
Cold, warm. That's weird.
And I wasn't even leaning on that, so shouldn't be that. If there's anyone in here that would like to talk to Justin or I, if you could just walk up right here and grab one of these flashlights and turn it on for us and let us know that you're here.
Please.
Please. We are not here to hurt you. We're just here to talk to you and hear your story.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like it. Woo!
So we move into the officers' quarters. What's really cool about this is not only is the jail left behind, but when they did leave, they left everything in place. The TVs on the walls, the switchboard for the jails, I mean, the shelving, the chalkboards, everything is still in there. It's kind of cool that they've left all this in there and that Dwayne and the crew have left all this stuff in there. We come through the door of the kitchen and it comes directly into the officers' quarters. And where I'm sitting, there's a door behind me that leads out into the main part of the jail. And then we're surrounded by windows, double pane windows with little holes you can talk through to whoever's on the outside. Craig shifts over into one corner, I'm in the other, and I put the camera up behind me on the table looking down at him, and then he's holding the camera and sitting kind of behind it and moving back and forth to see me. And we're in there for quite a while, and we weren't really having any kind of real communication. We tried several different things, and we had set some flashlights up, and our flashlights had not done anything since we were at solitary. And then we started having some communication come through.
And you got to think, too, that's not really solitary. You got to think about this jail like this isn't prison.
Right.
This is a city jail. They had your typical, this is where you would come in like on a DUI or a traffic stop gone wrong.
Warrant.
A warrant. And this is just a holding spot for like no more than really 24 hours. So if you were in solitary confinement, it was due to a couple things. One, you were either like shit-faced drunk and they put you in there to sleep it off, you know, before they put you in with the inmates because they didn't want you to go in with somebody else while you're shit-faced.
Yeah.
Two, you had to be like mentally disabled, something like that, where they would put you by yourself. Three, it could also be for protection. For like somebody that's okay. So it was for protection. That's the first time I've seen. Did I hit something there? I must have hit something there. Can you do that again? Can you turn that red light on for us that you just turned on?
It did just get considerably colder in here.
It did. Can you let go? Can you? Okay, thank you. Do you like us talking about the jail? All right. Can you turn the blue one on as well? You figured out the red one. Can you turn the blue one on?
No, that's a red one. The one next to it.
Yeah. Go ahead and turn that one off. No, go ahead and turn it off.
All the way off. Just leave it off. And then touch the other one.
What do you mean? Just making sure it's not my arm. Like, I mean, I have to fucking pound it to get to do anything.
Yeah.
It's not like a bang. Can you turn that blue one on? The one on next to it? You know what we could do is an EVP session.
Yeah.
It's quiet enough in here and that band's not being ridiculous anymore.
So were you a protector in this jail?
Hold on. Craig and Justin at North Richland Hills PD in the officers' quarters doing a EVP session. Is there somebody here that would like to speak with us tonight? Were you an officer here? Were you a guard here? Can you tell us the name of the first police chief for North Richland Hills? Can you give us your name?
Were you a protector here?
Are you male or female?
I keep hearing something back here.
In that back room?
Yeah.
Flashlight tried to answer when you said that. Are you in the back room? Is that you in the kitchen?
It's weird how the cold travels in here.
If you're in the kitchen, can you make a loud knocking noise? That was a knocking noise. Can you do it a little bit louder? Give it to us one more time, Craig.
What? What, Justin?
I swear to God, I just saw somebody peek through that window. And it moved.
So we're sitting there and you'll see me kind of moving around. I keep hearing something going on in the kitchen and I couldn't tell what it was, but we would hear taps every once in a while. And after a couple taps, we're sitting there talking and Justin's asking, he goes, I just heard a tap. So then he goes, can you do that again one more time? And as soon as he asks the question, he just sits up and says, Craig. And I'm like, what, Justin? And he goes, I swear I just saw a face come in the window behind you.
Is that camera facing me?
It's facing right at you. It's got that window in its view.
Okay, so remember that.
Give it to us one more time, Craig. Give it to us one more time, Craig.
Because like I'm only cold around like my waist and a little bit of my back.
And I didn't know what to say or do because I'd never seen him react like that before. Like he just froze for a minute, just like I was looking through my camera and I could see him just sitting there like trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And all I could think of is I hope we got that on camera. So I asked him if his camera could see the doorway as well. And he said, yes, it could. So right after that, I told him it was weird how the cold moved in that area, because right after he saw the face come up, all of a sudden I got really cold right around my waist and up to about my shoulders as I was sitting down. And that's about the same level as that window that I was sitting next to, about a foot from.
I mean, it's sealed up in here. There is no ventilation, except for what's on the ceiling up there, but you would feel it blowing down on top of you.
Yeah.
And it's not blowing.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
That's what I've been hearing back there. But when we're back there, nothing.
So Justin starts going through the footage as soon as he gets home, because we're right down the street from his house. So as soon as he starts going through it, he knows where to go to look, the time frame, everything. So he calls me, he says, I'm going to FaceTime you. He goes, you've got to see this. So he's sitting there, he's showing me the footage. And as soon as that face comes into that window behind me, every hair on my body stood up. I didn't know what to think seeing that in camera, that we caught something like that, because with his reaction I knew it was something, but I didn't know it was quite like that when I saw it in person myself. And I still, even watching it today when we're looking at it as he's finishing the edits, same feeling, every hair on my body stands up and I have no idea what it was. It looks like a little girl or something, but it's just a very quick right there at us, and I don't really know what it is. I have no words for it. I'm glad we caught it, but it was definitely a lifetime experience for me to see that.
In this moment, I froze in fear. I don't know what I was looking at. I do know that I saw something come through that window, and I couldn't tell you at the time what that was, but it looked like a face, and it happened so quick and so fast. You could hear it in Craig's voice when I call out his name, and he asked me, what, Justin? And I tell him, I just saw a face peek through that window. There is an amount of fear going through at that point, because I'm thinking to myself, well, I have the keys to this place. It's locked down. You can't get into this jail that we're in. The only set of keys to the jail are in my hands. I know that Dwayne's not there. I know that Presley's not there. The management's not there. And if they did come in, you hear it. When you put those keys in the door and it unlocks, it is loud. So what did we catch? What was this? So we wrap up, we get done, we go home. I immediately come into the studio and immediately pull this thing up. I get straight to my camera footage, go straight to it. And I was chilled to my core when I saw this face come through. I've never never seen anything like it. And to be quite honest, I was really scared to release the footage, because when you go looking for the Holy Grail and you capture it, sometimes it's not the best idea to release it. Hence why we've sat on this for so long. We've debated, do we release this or not? And the answer is yes. This is what we're out trying to do. This is what we are trying to capture. Now, there's going to be naysayers, there's going to be people that believe, whatever, but that's the point of the theory of this whole thing. We're going to leave it up for you to decide, and you make your decision. But what I know that Craig and I caught in this room has made me, one, most people would say, I never want to go back in that jail again. Well, there's a part of me that doesn't, but then there's a part of me that goes, I want to get back there and see if we can capture this thing elsewhere. In post, as it's leading up to this, we caught a little girl's voice. Then we capture the face. We capture my name being called. It calls out Chief. It calls out my grandfather's name. It talks about my grandmother. It talks about my family. There was too much going on in this place for us not to go back. And so one day we will go back and do this again. But for what we caught in this footage, is going to haunt me personally for the rest of my life. It'll go down as the thing we caught on camera. I've had plenty of experiences off camera, but for once, the camera was rolling and we got it. I can't explain it. I don't know what happened. I don't know how this came to be. Why a child? Why? It looks like a child to me. Why a kid? I mean, that door is only 4 foot up to the crease of that window, and then it peeks through. Why did we capture a little girl's voice while we were at solitary? Why the man that doesn't move? I mean, people call that matrixing, but this isn't matrixing. This is a dude's face, and it sits in one spot. It never moves, but it starts to morph towards the end of us doing our session. The shadow play on the wall behind me. It looked like a damn snake at one point. Like, I can't, I mean, everything had a snake-like movement that moved. I can't explain that. I can't explain this one. I don't know what to say. Is North Richland Hills PD / Platinum Music Complex haunted? The jail sure is. The jail is definitely haunted.